You're about to hear something most guys completely miss, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The truth is, when a woman can't stop thinking about you, she almost never says it out loud. She shows it in ways that look subtle, even accidental, but they're not. And if you know how to trigger those patterns intentionally, something shifts in her mind that feels almost addictive. You've probably been in a situation like this. You stop texting first, just to see what happens, and suddenly, out of nowhere, she reaches out. Not with something important, just something random. A meme, a hey, or even a question she could have Googled. And you think, is that coincidence? Or is something deeper going on? Here's where it gets interesting. The first psychological trigger is what I call controlled absence. And no, it's not about playing games or disappearing like a ghost. It's about breaking her expectation loop in a very specific way. Human brains are prediction machines. When someone becomes predictable, their emotional impact drops. But when you slightly disrupt that pattern, not drastically, just enough, her brain starts filling in the gaps, and that's where obsession begins. Think about this for a moment. If you always reply instantly, always available, always consistent, she never has to wonder about you. There's no mental replay, no curiosity loop. But the moment your rhythm changes, not cold, just different, she starts asking herself questions she didn't ask before. Why hasn't he replied yet? What is he doing? Is he with someone else? And here's the part most guys underestimate. Those questions don't push her away if there's already some attraction. They pull her deeper in. But here's the nuance. If you overdo it, it backfires. She feels ignored, not intrigued. The sweet spot is subtle unpredictability. Just enough to create space, not distance. And you'll notice something strange when you get this right. Her messages get longer, slightly more emotional. She might double text, not because she's needy, but because her brain is trying to close the loop you opened. Now here's where it gets even more powerful, and honestly a little counterintuitive. The second trigger is emotional imprint. In through contrast. Most interactions people have are flat. Same tone, same energy, same vibe. Nothing stands out. But when you create emotional contrast, calm one moment, playful the next, slightly distant, then unexpectedly warm, you become mentally sticky. Maybe you didn't notice this, but think back to someone you couldn't stop thinking about. It wasn't because they were always nice or always intense. It was the unpredictability of how they made you feel. One moment she's laughing at something you said. The next moment you're pulling back just a bit, not rejecting her, just shifting energy. And her brain starts tagging you as different. And different is dangerous because different gets remembered. You don't need grand gestures for this. It's in the micro moments. The way your tone softens when she least expects it. The way you pause before responding. The way you hold eye contact just a second longer than normal. Then break it. Those tiny contrasts create emotional spikes, and spikes create memory. And memory turns into replay. Now here's the third trigger, and this is the one most guys either misuse or completely ignore. It's called selective emotional visibility. Sounds complicated, but it's simple. You don't reveal everything about yourself at once. Not because you're hiding, but because you're letting her discover you in layers. When someone feels like they fully understand you too quickly, their brain loses interest. There's no mystery left to solve. But when there are small pieces of you that don't fully line up, when she sees a side of you that doesn't match what she expected, her curiosity locks in. Maybe you're confident in public but unexpectedly thoughtful in private. Maybe you joke around a lot, but occasionally say something deeper that catches her off guard. Those moments create what psychologists call cognitive tension, and tension demands resolution. So what does she do? She thinks about you, tries to figure you out, replays conversations, looks for patterns that aren't obvious. And here's where it gets almost unfair. The less you try to explain yourself, the more she invests in understanding you. But let's be clear about something. This isn't about manipulation, it's about awareness, understanding how attraction naturally works, and not sabotaging it by being overly predictable, overly available, or overly transparent too soon. Because the truth is, obsession doesn't come from intensity alone. It comes from a mix of curiosity, uncertainty, and emotional impact. And if you've ever wondered why some guys are perfect on paper but get forgotten, while others stay on her mind for weeks, this is why. It's not about being better, it's about being unforgettable in very specific ways. Now here's something most people won't tell you. When all three of these triggers combine, controlled absence, emotional contrast, and selective visibility, something shifts in her behavior that you can actually see. She starts bringing you up in unrelated conversations. She reacts faster to your messages, but pretends she doesn't. She remembers small details you forgot you even mentioned. And sometimes she'll test you, subtly, just to see if you're still that same unpredictable presence she can't quite figure out. Did you notice this happening to you before? Or maybe you've seen it but didn't connect the dots? Because once you do, everything changes. And here's the part that really matters. Don't use this to chase attention. Use it to create meaningful attraction with someone who actually values you. Because when it's real, these patterns don't feel forced. They feel natural, almost effortless. And once you start recognizing these hidden signals, not just in her, but in people around you, you'll realize how much of human behavior is driven by things nobody says out loud. Once you notice these patterns in real life, you'll never see human behavior the same way again. Subscribe for more insights.